Hey Heather, all right, here's your spread, and just so you know, sometimes the spread takes a while to come out correctly from the deck, and this one just really just came out really quickly and jumped out, and I'm already getting a lot of impressions, and it's like I feel like this is something you need to hear. So let's start. What's going to happen is I'm going to show you where we are, what you did with your life, two important days, your death and your lesson. I'm going to get impressions of the time period that you are in. All right, so we're going to start with the Americas, and already I want to tell you that we're in Central America, and I want to say we're in the period of when North America was colonizing, basically, like the colonization period. And I want to say that where we are looking at is not colonized, so to speak, if that makes sense. There's just seeing images of like dense jungle all around, okay? So this is just a few centuries ago. This isn't ancient times, but it's still way back when. So we're looking at Central America. Where are we going? We're going to the southern part of Central America that blends into South America, almost like you cross borders, and I know you cross borders here. So what's happening is this. So this card is a life of leisure. And just keep in mind that these are not all face value. A life of leisure doesn't necessarily mean you didn't do anything, all right? So also keep in mind to make connections with your current life as I'm speaking, how what I'm saying can connect to your current life today, all right? So what I'm getting right away with this is that life of leisure, it's not that you just sat around and did nothing. No, what happened is actually you are part of this small group, and this small group goes around always like a nomadic group, and you just move throughout Central and South America. I want to say northern, like Central to northern South America, and then the southern part of Central America. And you move around from place to place. And here's an interesting part is I'm getting the feeling of that the group that you're with, it's a small group, and this group is very gifted. This group is gifted in a lot of um esoterical ways. Like you're gifted. You have sight, you can predict things, you know things about people without having met them. So I would say you're basically traveling with a group of psychics in a sense back in this day though. So there's good and bad parts about it. The good part is when people come to see your group, when they find you, or when you go into a place knowing that it's safe, you are most welcomed and you are treated so well because you are respected so much for the gifts that you give to the people. Because your gifts, you're not bad. These aren't voodoo gifts. These are just gifts. You want to help people with this, your whole group. And the thing is you're all, but the bad part is that you're also kind of technically on the run too, because more than not, these kind of people and the gifts that you give to people were persecuted. They scared people more than not. So the thing is the ones that you did help, that's where the life of leisure comes in, because you're following your path, you're comfortable with who you are, and you're also, even though you're moving around place to place, you're comfortably doing so. The ones who welcome your gift, they give you food, they give you comfort, shelter, they give you friendship, hospitality. So when you're met by friends, so to speak, you are taken care of very well. When you're not met by friends, you're on the move. You gotta go. So the leisure part is also that there's not labor involved in what you do. This is all mental gifts. So keep in mind now, if you are developing gifts, if there are gifts that you are developing that feel natural, I would definitely focus on that and keep developing, because these gifts don't go away once you have them. You've lived lifetime over lifetime with gifts. If you haven't discovered them yet, start to feel it out. I would say this is the time to start at least feeling it out, or if not, develop them, okay? So we go to this first day. So let's see. So this is okay. Okay, so what's happening is you're picking up and you are going. This is the move, move, move card. And who's involved is family. Okay. No, friends. I'm so sorry. This is the friends card. With pity. So what's happening? What is happening with the friends? Okay, so what's happening is that you've actually been in this place for a while, longer than you're used to, and you were getting comfortable and you were settling down and you were thinking, my, wouldn't it be nice to have a settled kind of life in one place? This, I can get used to this. And something happened on this day where you were getting comfortable and then it was time and something happened and people were coming. They heard about your group, time to pack up, time to go. And the friends card is that you actually made friends in a new way. This is a new type of friendship. This was a whole new era to you because the friends you made as you were traveling around, yeah, they're friends, but it's more like you're helping them with your gifts. You were here longer than usual to the point where you were actually making friends. You were making friends who didn't care to use you for your gifts, so to speak. They just wanted to be around you. You were learning about people at a deeper level and they were learning about you, and you loved the feeling of being known. Sorry, the video cut off there. So let's get back to this. So this day comes and you leave and then you get here. And on this day, the second day, what we're seeing here is a trauma that's occurring and there's a child involved. And the feeling of this is, oh, we got to keep on going, keep on going. And what's happening here is what I'm seeing is that the child that's involved is the one that's actually hurt. And the trauma is the child is hurt to the point of bleeding, maybe a broken bone. I'm seeing like in the dense jungle kind of thing. That's where you guys are like comfortable. That's where you flee to. So you're comfortable with that environment. However, this child is so young, like toddler age. So what happens is he's going to slow you down, and this isn't the first time you've had to do this. Maybe not with a child, but with someone of your group. But with the child, what's happening is I'm seeing a motherly figure place this child basically like by a tree, like plopping him down. He's unconscious and he is bleeding. And so they leave the child. Your group has to leave this child knowing that the innocence of the child, and this child is beautiful, by the way. I'm seeing a beautiful young boy, curly hair. And the innocence of this child, you know, will make it so that whoever finds this child, they're not going to persecute him. They're going to keep him and raise him. And any suspicions they may have that he is like a witch or whatever, they're going to put aside because he is just so beautiful and innocent looking and young that they feel like we can take him on as our own. So that's what's happening on this day, is you're actually leaving one of your own behind, and that makes a big impact on you. So in your current life, any connections you might make could be that you are overprotective over a child or a sibling, or just children in general, or you are you hold on to things, maybe almost like maybe you like to hoard or collect things, or with people you hold on to relationships that no longer serve you because you in this life you were so distraught, or you were so affected by leaving people behind, leaving this child behind. This day made a big impact on you because the ones you left behind before this, and I'm seeing you as a young person in this life, like relatively young, like not even past 20, like 8. And so, and for your group, you're actually one of the young ones in your group. And so keep that in mind when you make connections, why that might be if you are overprotective, if you do find that you have trouble letting go of relationships that don't serve you, whether friendships or otherwise, okay? And then over here, what we get for the death is burning. And, you know, this can be you die in a house fire or any kind of burning, but for this, it's specifically what I'm getting is that your group was caught, your group was found out eventually, and they burned you as they would burn witches at the stake kind of thing, however that might go down in this area of the world. So what you might want to do, what I like to do for validation purposes, is to like go ahead and Google and see if this is in the history books somewhere about groups of travelers that were outcasts because they were gifted, and maybe the type of persecution was burning, not, you know, plain old chop the head off or whatever it is, but just, you know, you might want to go ahead and check that out. But I am seeing a burning, and it's a group burn, like a group banded together, bound together with rope, and all burned at the same time, not individually. And so the lesson that we get in this life is one of trust, and it's interesting because what I'm getting is that it's not just trust. It's not like trust people or trust. It's that you learn to trust your instincts and trust in yourself, and trust the path that's laid out before you. This wasn't a life that you were like fighting against. You weren't like, I want to get away from this. Even though you experienced this wonderful time of friendship, you still trusted your path. Your path was to help people. And in order to help people in this distinct way, you were part of a group that traveled around and you trusted that. You trusted the truth of that. And so in this lifetime, you might have a very strong trust in what you're meant to be doing, or you might not trust yourself because the trust that you invested in here eventually did get you killed. So you actually might be someone who is like, who does a double take for their emotions or their instincts, when really you can trust yourself. You're not going to get burned at the stake. So if you have any of that kind of fear in this life currently, it could stem from this life and it doesn't serve you anymore, and you need to learn to develop that trust in yourself again, especially if you're someone who is developing abilities by any chance, any gifts you might be interested in developing. The trust that you have in yourself, even if you mess up at first, keep practicing it. Just trust that you know your own way and you know your path. And the more you trust yourself, the easier things will get. Okay? So, thank you for letting me read you. I hope you enjoyed that.